seconds, 4 seconds. Halliburton for the lead. 1.3 to go. Pacers by 1. Halliburton steps back and hits. Tyrese Halliburton trying to take Cleveland's heart.
Halliburton. They'll take it. They'll backpedal a 3 for the win. And goal! He got it!
And the Halliverse made a trip to Oklahoma City, down by 15 in the fourth quarter. Tyrese Halliburton, another game winner for the Indiana Pacers. They end the game on a 12-2 run. It's the third consecutive playoff series. They've gone on the road to win game 1. It's their fourth comeback this postseason by 15 or more points. Welcome to Game Time, live at the finals, presented by YouTube TV. You know our championship crew, the Hall of Famers, Shaquille O'Neal, Isaiah Thomas, and the two-time champion, Kenny Smith. And we have to start with the star of this game. Tyrese Halliburton did not light it up all game, but when you needed a bucket late, Shaq, he provided it. 14 points, but the 2 that mattered most.
This team is resilient. They never panic. They keep fighting no matter what the situation is. Nobody expected this. I did not expect this. I thought it should have been a blowout. Indiana did not play well at all. I thought even though Tyrese was 6 for 13, a little too passive for me. You know, I like people that step up to the challenge, but Obi Toppin played great. Nembhard hit a big step back 3, and they just kept fighting. You know, I said if you could kind of slow down J-Dub, you have a chance. He went 6 for 19. Chet had a horrible game, 2 for 9 for 6 points. But listen, Indiana, they definitely stole one. And nobody expected us. They played well. And I was sitting there on the floor, and I was like, okay, they're about to blow them out. Wait. Okay, they're about to blow them out again. Wait. They're about to blow them out. And then it kept happening. And then I think when it was like 102 to 98, they had 2 wide open threes that they missed. And I was like, man. And OKC couldn't, you know, score enough. You know, I think they went to Shea a lot. You know, J-Dub forced a couple shots and missed. But kudos to Indiana. They played some excellent basketball today. And it feels good. We all know this. When you don't have your best game and you can get a win, whew,
yeah,
that just raises your confidence. Great game, brother.
Yes,
yeah.
sir, thank you.
Spicy.
Yes, sir, thank you guys. Thank you.
Man, he froze. We're froze, but he froze the defense. He froze the defense.
Yeah,
You know what's
Tough
crazy?
tough cover.
I don't think I've ever seen an NBA game like that.
Yeah, you
The
did. see
Pacers
Knicks
didn't
series.
play well at all.
The next series, they came back from a 20-point kind of deficit as well.
No. This is the finals. brother.
Yeah, in the NBA Finals,
I'm
yeah.
talking about the
Yeah.
finals. Like
A team
yeah.
that don't play well and win like this.
Yes, I don't think I've ever seen this.
But contrarily, I never thought OKC was playing well. I never thought they were playing well. They had so many turnovers. And if they, I don't know, you could probably look it up, Chris, the conversion rate on their turnovers to baskets, like points off turnovers.
just 11. So
you have 18
turnovers,
points. 25 turnovers, and you only have 11. They weren't converting off of those turnovers. So I'm like, neither team is really playing bad. And then you look up, you're like, oh, they're down 11. Then someone hits a 3, oh, they're only down 8.
I understand what you're saying, but OKC is highly favored. OKC is
And
highly
at
favored.
home.
Yeah, and at home. And there was a couple times they had double-digit leads.
All right, let's check out the highlight from Game 1 here in the NBA Finals between the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City
Thank you,
Thunder.
underdog.
All right, we're having some technical
No,
difficulties
you're having
with
some
the
technical
highlight.
difficulties. Me, Isaiah, and Kenny, we never have technical difficulties.
Yeah, that ain't our job.
Yeah,
the TV froze on you. It didn't freeze on
Yeah,
us.
it didn't
So
freeze on us.
here's the
It's
deal.
your
Wait,
job.
They didn't
let's
turn
get-
the TV off on us.
Yes,
So they didn't Kendrick us. All right, let's forget about this highlight and just talk about this game, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Because what you pointed at, Kenny, was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and his inefficiency. Like, it's 38 points, which for most players, that's a great game, especially in the NBA Finals. But he was 14 for 30 from the field, and they limited his free throw attempts to, at the end of the game, just 8 of them.
The one thing about greatness, Chris, greatness is allowed to get shots off. It is very difficult to get 20 or more shots off in an NBA game. You have to have a special skill. but he's at a level that he should be efficient. We had talked about his efficiency. We were saying he has to be north of 13 to 20 when he's playing in the game and doing things that way. And as Halliburton looks around, he just knows what it is. Oh, my gosh, I wish everybody could see what we see. If you could see what I see.
But, Zeke, to that point about Tyrese Halliburton, like a lot of guys, if you're having a night where you're not getting shots off, like they took the ball out of his hands in the fourth quarter to start making that run. Andrew Nembhard hit a big shot. T.J. McConnell just to get the turnovers down. But his confidence never wavered, and he hit the game winner.
Well, this is what I said about him at the start of the game. Like, he's a guy that can beat you taking 8 shots.
Yes, you did.
Or taking 20 shots, right? And he has so many ways to impact and affect the game that it doesn't necessarily have to be with scoring. And as Siakam said at the end of the game, what you trust about Halliburton is that either he's going to get a good shot himself or he's going to create one for someone else. And he's not a selfish player. He plays the game the right way. He lets the game come to him. And when it's time for him to make a shot or make a play, he does that.
Yeah, we can look at all the stats and point to, okay, the Thunder really had the advantage across the board, except three-point shooting. The Pacers made 6 threes in the fourth quarter, and they had the advantage by 7 in the three-point shooting.
You know, OKC is a great team, but they're a greater team when Shed has 19, 20. They're a greater team when J-Dub has 25. Lou Dort played unbelievable. He played great basketball.
That's
Shea,
a tough shot.
I would have to disagree with you and Kenny about his efficiency. He gave me 30. They had more than multiple chances to win this game. Again, like in the finals, when you get up to a double-digit lead and the other team is turning the ball over at a high clip, you have to win this game. You definitely have to win this game. So, again, I said if you could slow J-Dub down, you have a chance because Shea getting his 30. Listen, Shea's an MVP, been averaging 30 the last 2 years. You're not going to stop him going to show him number. When he gets 30 and J-Dub gets 25 and Lou Dort gets 15 and Shaq gets 19, nobody in the world can beat him.
Well, what I said at the start of the show, right, is that OKC has 3 players averaging double figures in the playoffs. And Indiana was going to take one of them away. Who'd they take away?
Chet.
They took away Chet. Chet only gets 6 points tonight, doesn't get in double figures. Indiana gets 6 players in double figures.
And J-Dub didn't get going till late.
Yeah.
He didn't get going till late.
So, I mean, even though with all the turnovers that Indiana had, what they could rest comfortably on is that they were shutting OKC down. OKC was having a tough time scoring and breaking away.
All right, let's hear from the Thunder head coach, Mark Daigneault, at the podium.
Mark, I imagine you spent a lot of this week reviewing some of the Pacers' comebacks, just the nature in which those late game situations happen for them. What maybe felt like a common denominator tonight, and where'd you sort of sense things went off the rails?
The common denominator is them. You know, that's a really good team. Credit them, you know, for not only tonight but their run. They've had so many games like that that have seemed improbable, and they just play with a great spirit. They keep coming. They keep playing. They made plays. They made shots. So they deserve to win by a point. We got to learn from it. There's obviously a lot of things we can clean up, but credit them. They went and got that game.
Again in the front row.
Joe Masato, the Oklahoma, on that experience.
Yeah, we just got to focus on being better. The series isn't 1-1, it's 1-4. So we have 4 more games to get. They have 3, and that's just where we are. We got to understand that, and we got to get to 4 before they get to 3 if we want to win an NBA championship, and it's that simple. It's not rocket science. We lost game 1. We have to be better.
Nick on the right.
Shea, in being better, what do you feel are some controllables, particularly on the offensive end of the floor, just given the number of looks you guys got in the paint, downhill? It seemed like you guys were getting downhill a lot, but those shots weren't going down.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not too sure. It's hard to, have that answer 20 minutes after the game. But, yeah, for sure, definitely areas to get better on both ends of the floor, and so the next 2 days are for, try to get better and then come out here and be a better team for game 2.
Jenny here on the left.
Shea, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoma. You guys have, when you've had games that have slipped through your fingers in these playoffs, you've found a way to come back and make good on that. But in the finals, with the pressure being what it is, how can you guys make sure that you do that again? Or is this kind of an unknown because you guys as a group haven't been to this point yet?
Yeah, I think as much as we can, we just got to treat it like every other game, every other situation we've been in. Yes, we haven't been in this situation, but it doesn't mean our character has to change or what we did last time. It's still basketball. It's still the game of basketball that we grew up playing. The rules don't change just because we're in the finals. So it's like we've been in this situation before. In the other situation, we handled it well. We were better for game 2, and that's the goal.
Tim on your right.
Shaq, you disagree with what the MVP of the league just said at the end.
I don't want to make it look like I'm different. I disagree. It's just we all have different mentalities, It's not just another game.
Yeah.
It's not just another game. I understand it's your first time here, but if it ends up like the promo started our show today and you don't win, it may be another chance you don't get back. I was fortunate enough to go back 6 times. You went back, of course you went back, but this is not another game. I didn't realize that they shot 40% from the field and 36% from 3, but I was sitting there and they had double-digit leads. The fans were going crazy. The crowd was going crazy. When that happens in that moment at home, you have to put them away. This is not another game. This is the NBA Finals. This is a championship run. Got to be more efficient. You got to have that killer. And when you get a team down, you got to put a foot on their throat.
Well, we talked about the versatility. You asked honestly, about the versatility of the bench or the guys, the subsidiary characters, or as Shaq says, the others. And if you really look at what, Obi Toppin did, what McMahon did on the defensive end, Thomas Bryant came in, gave him solid minutes. Everyone, Nembhard, McConnell, Neesmith, they all played up to their ability when they didn't turn the basketball over. Contrarily, I would say OKC had opportunities that they didn't take advantage of. So meaning they didn't turn the basketball over, but those guys didn't play up. They have a great bench, but they didn't play up to their ability today. And I thought that was the difference that kept them in the game and allowed Halliburton to be a star.
Here's the concern that if you're OKC that you have, right? Tonight at home, they shoot 39% from the field, 36 from the foul line. From the three-point line. They get out rebounded 56-39 at home. We all agree that Indiana didn't play a great game
at all.
They turned the ball over, but they found a way to win. But what concerns me for OKC right now is, can you find a way to score, and can you rebound the basketball? Because right now, these are the 2 areas, to me, that are popping up. And if Indiana don't turn the ball over game 2,
oh my gosh,
and you can't figure out how to score or rebound, don't be surprised if Indiana comes back and win game 2 also.
And one thing we know from watching these playoffs is when you need a bucket late, Tyrese Halliburton has been answering that call.
Yes,
we
he
saw
has.
it again, game 1 in his first NBA Finals game. We're going to hear from Halliburton next.
But he's still underrated.
Man, that kid's overrated
Yeah, I'm
now.
sorry, overrated.